Do you have a problem with your partner's past? It's called retroactive jealousy. And today I'm going to show you 3 tips that really have helped me integrate my jealousy into my growth process. Hey, all you beautiful crazies out there. So happy to see you again. This is Nick with New Way Wellness. And I'm super excited to bring you this video today. If you're new to this channel, please click subscribe, like this video. It helps so much ease the suffering in the world of us beautiful bipolar crazies or borderline personality, whatever you have, however you identify with your mental disorder, whatever it may be. We get so many labels you can choose these days. Now, I've dealt with jealousy in just about every single relationship that I've ever been in, starting when I was 14 years old, and now I'm 37, and I still have had a hard time understanding how my brain is creating these ridiculous, ruminating thoughts about things that I just can't change. I mean, there's nothing you can do about the past, so quit trying. In every relationship, this has been a source of guilt or shame for myself and my partner. You know, it's one of those things that, how do I control it? These are just emotions that are coming up for me. They've always been there. And honestly, in the past, I used to take a really hard victim mentality here. Because of the way that you have been, it makes me feel X, Y, and Z. Now, that's totally placing blame. That's totally placing the ability to change anything completely on your partner. And that's totally unfair. Everything that has happened before you is completely irrelevant. I mean, like literally, it's like, hey, partner, what's the biggest shit you've ever taken? Like, it's like that relevant, really. That's more of a Buddhist approach, you know, but yeah, just take that with a grain of salt. So you may have asked some questions, or maybe you're making assumptions about your partner's past. You actually have no idea, but then again, you are assuming that this plays a major role in who they are today. You know, and is this assuming the best thing about your partner? No, it's not. So you got to ask yourself, are there things in your past that you're maybe ashamed of, or maybe that you've done that they could hold against you? Yes. Would that seem fair? No. Would that feel good? No. So these are just some thoughts. And obviously, I know that from personal experience, logically, it makes sense. You're like, why do I care? Why do I care so much? When we ask ourselves that question, it's an emotional thing. It's an emotional thought. The rumination, the emotion, it's a cycle. And you got to recognize that this very well possibly could be a symptom of your sickness, whether you're bipolar or borderline personality. These negative ruminating thoughts are simply just something that your mind is choosing to latch onto, a lot like maybe some of your insecurities, and I'll get to that later. Sometimes the symptoms of our disease can create illusions. Go figure. It also could be coming from unknown, unvoiced, and unmet needs in the relationship. You could be secretly resenting your partner for not doing something for you that you want, but have you told them? No, so that might be a conversation as well. But when we can create separation between our thoughts and what they mean, we then stand the best chance to be able to create a change in the way that we're thinking. These tools are really good to be able to help you get out of that train of thought, thinking that there's nothing you can do about it, to being able to take charge of your own mind. Number 1, take ownership of your personal feelings. What does that mean? Stop playing the victim. All right, they did not do this to you. This is not something that they've done vindictively. You weren't even probably around. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. I don't know the situation. But they are with you now, and they are choosing that. By playing the victim, I either can't accept it or disapprove, or something makes me uncomfortable about it. You make me feel this way. That is classic victim mentality. And what that does, it puts the entire blame on your partner. And there's obviously nothing that they can do about that. And also, secondly, and much more devastating to your own mental health, it takes the ability to do something about it out of your hands. When you play the victim, it takes your power away. When you put the problem outside of yourself, it puts the solution outside of yourself. So, and what's the solution to your partner's past? Faulty too. No, it's ridiculous. There is no solution. You have to understand that it is your problem. This is not your partner's problem. This is your problem, and you have to own it. And owning it is the first thing, really, just like Alcoholics Anonymous, you have to admit you have the problem. Whoever has the retroactive jealousy or who is jealous, do not shame your partner. Do not guilt your partner. Do not make them feel bad about their past. Again, this is your problem. If anything, you need to thank them for being as open as they have been to express those vulnerabilities to you. So that way that you can have the opportunity to love them at their fullest and accept them in their entirety. What greater opportunity could you ask for? This is your chance to really rise up and be that one that can accept them for exactly who they are. That's a very tall task, and it might seem impossible, but it's not. You can do it. Their past has also been the thing that created the person that you love now. They wouldn't be the same without that. Keep that in mind. Number 2, this one was a game changer. Oh my gosh, what is your attachment style? Now, if you're not familiar with attachment styles, this is kind of like a new age thing. When we get into relationships, we often attach to that person. Now, I'm not saying it's like necessarily codependent. That word gets thrown around a lot. But as humans, we have a way to interconnect with people. We automatically want to integrate with others, either like one-on-one or in a group. We're social animals. So we create attachments, and that is healthy. The type of attachment that you create can definitely determine the health of that attachment. And I'm going to go over the 4 attachment styles. I'm by no means an expert in this, but I did read a great book called Attached by Amir Levi and Rachel Heller that gave me great insight to what my attachment style is, what my partner's possible attachment style is, and what type of symptoms come along with those. So there's 4. First one here, first attachment style is the secure. So obviously this one is ideal. You can accept and give love without any sort of like craziness going on. You recognize that you're worth love and that you're worth giving love. If someone doesn't reciprocate, you have general communication skills to be able to decide, hey, this is a healthy relationship or it's not. And you have a much better discernment when it comes to healthy and unhealthy attachments. Second is the avoidant. Now, there are different types of avoidance, but I'm just going to generalize this today. Avoidant is basically someone, when they get close to you, they want to leave because for whatever reason in their development, when they had an attachment originally, maybe that person wasn't there. Maybe they learned that loving someone wasn't safe at some point, so they want to detach. Now, this third one, anxious attachment style. That was me to a T. Raise your hand if you feel like you have an anxious attachment style. So an anxious attachment style, just in other words, means you're anxious in the way that you attach to someone. You're worried about them leaving. You're worried about them cheating. You don't maybe feel like enough in the relationship because you're anxious. I mean, all of the tall tale things that might be contributing to your jealousy could be your anxious attachment style. There is a 4th one, anxious avoidant, and that person is avoidant. They want to leave as well as being anxiously attached. So I can only speak from my attachment style. I have definitely worked to move from a anxious to a more secure attachment style. But in fact, I thought I had borderline personality, and I very well might. It was explained in the book that some of the symptoms of anxious attachment style could actually be interpreted as borderline personality. Kind of get these rageful fits when you feel threatened or the relationship feels threatened. So that could be one thing, definitely be playing a role in your jealousy. But again, knowing these facts, arming yourself with knowledge is just the most ideal thing you can do, because when you start to feel those feelings, that feed into that jealousy, you then put the power back in your own hands and realizing, hey, maybe these aren't legitimate thoughts. Maybe these are thoughts are a symptom of either my attachment style or my sickness in general. So these are all good things to keep in mind. Number 3, and probably most importantly, is where is your focus? You know, are you focusing on the past? Is that kind of how you operate? We all have a lot of insecurities as humans. That's how we are wired. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, those insecurities get amplified. So is that what you're focused on? Does this person's past somehow trigger insecurities in your own mind? I know that has definitely happened to me. And again, that is taking responsibility for my actions to an external stimulus. Again, thank your partner. This has been a great thing for them, not only to open up to you, but to give you kind of an amplification of your insecurities. Talk to them about this. Don't blame, okay? Don't guilt. Thank them. Help yourself as well as them, depending on your comfort level with being open with each other on the insecurities that you have. When you have pain, that is an opportunity to grow. Step into that. Working on yourself, I think, is the greatest thing that you can do for jealousy, honestly, because it's going to raise your vibration and who you believe you are. It's going to raise your ability and your self-worth. It's also going to give you something to focus on. A lot of the times we get lost in relationships, we lose ourselves, and that is one thing that can definitely create jealousy. Focusing in on your life is probably one of the greatest things that you can do to help just defeat jealousy in general, because when you have things going on, you're not going to be worried so much about the past because you're focused on your future and your future together with your partner. And ultimately, isn't that why you're in a relationship? To build a life either coinciding or with someone? I mean, I think that's one of the most beautiful things we can do as humans, is go through life with another person through thick and thin. But again, having focus for your own life is key here. If you don't feel like you have anything going on or you need help with that, hit me up. That's what I do. Help people create a vision, create a path, and follow it. You can change. You can achieve your goals. And in achieving your goals, I guarantee you it's going to help with your jealousy, because you take the focus from what was or the insane thoughts that you have and you create forward momentum. And nothing creates positivity like forward momentum in your life. And remember, they're choosing you. You are the one. You are with them right now, and that is the most important thing. You are with them right now, and that is the most important thing. Keep that in mind. Out of everybody else that they could be choosing, they are choosing you. That is a blessing. That is a total blessing. Just to recap real quick, take ownership, make sure you're not playing the victim, know your attachment style, and work on your life. In the end, you have to ask yourself, is this jealousy and not working on it really going to be worth my relationship? I regrettably have to say that my jealousy has ended some of the greatest relationships of my life. And I wish I would have had these skills to at least start to question those thoughts. The great Jim Rohn once said, the weight of discipline is only ounces, but the weight of regret weighs tons. If you value the relationship, this is a sign for growth. This is an opportunity to change, to become your ultimate self, and ultimately lift up your partner and be the one to love them the most, because you accept them for all of their flaws and all of the things that they've done, because that's what love is. Remember, growth is key. Create separation between you and your thoughts, and just keep moving forward. Know that you can change always and forever. I hope it was helpful. If it was, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that like button. Again, this is Nick with New Way Wellness. Love all you beautiful crazies out there. Mwah. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.